When people say you're too young, just start. The time is gonna go by anyway. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Paxton and today I will be giving you a tour of my new book. It's a poetry book. It's titled Growth of a Dandelion and it is available on Amazon. I've been writing poetry every day for 5 years. I've won scholastic awards, poetry competitions, and have been published in literary magazines. So let's get into the video. First thing I want to tell you, this video is strictly for the purpose of inspiring and not to flex on a book, because like literally anyone can do this. I promise you that if you're watching this right now, I did it, so can you. It's not like, I don't want anyone to watching this to think writing a book is such a heavy, big task, and it does take a lot of work, of course, and a lot of motivation and inspiration and intention, but it's not by any means impossible for you to do if you're 12, 13, 11, you know, whatever age you are. If people say you're too young, like, don't listen to them. You have all the capability and all the power. Say, pray about it, then go do it. So this book is important to me because every poem encapsulates a different part of my poetic journey and my journey as a, you know, young girl who's kind of trying to find herself, find confidence, you know, find who she is in the environment she's in. And this book is kind of a testament to my growth that I've gone through, from being, you know, a little like middle school girl, preteen, teenager slash older girl. This book is really meant for anyone who is lacking self-confidence, who wants to like be motivated, who's driven but doesn't know where to start, who need to know that other people have gone through what you're going through as a young girl. Like, it's so normal to have doubt, anxiety, jealousy, you know, lack self-confidence, but it is so possible to get out from that cloud of like despair, teenage despair and angst and all those things, and to realize, truly realize you're valuable, you're loved. And I also want to add that none of this would have been possible without God, without Jesus. And I think that it's important to remember that there are powers higher than us that will help you along the way. So you don't have to think it's all on you, and you don't have to think that you have to consistently go and do and be the best all the time. It's okay to just be. I promise you. And that's what this book is about. It's literally all the poems I just be. And I want other people to find poetry as a beautiful outlet because it's really helped me grow my confidence and become who I am today. Now I'm going to get into the sections of my book and what they mean and what you'll be getting when you buy the book. Okay, so this is the cover and I designed it myself, and if you guys want a tutorial on how I designed this cover, and it was on Canva, so I can do a tutorial in my next video next week. The first section is Presents from the Past, Tiny Poems from a Middle School Girl, which were eventually rewrapped. And basically, these are poems that I wrote in middle school, which is like 2018, 6th grade to 2021, which was the end of my middle school. So I will read one of these as an example of kind of what you'll get when you get the book. And there's also more readings on my TikTok, which I'll have in the comment or description below. So yes. He Takes Light. Originally written February 19th, 2019, in 6th grade for a Greek mythology project, originally named Narcissus and Echo. This is a poem to symbolize love. Maybe they will meet up above. They have never met down below, which left one person to bellow. It was not the fellow. They were two lovers, only one loved the other. They were both pretty, that is why it didn't make a ditty. One got cursed, the other got immersed. In the end, the man had to bend. He fell in love with the water and needed to be watered. The lady was in the clouds but could still touch the ground. And that is the story. It is not great. And then at the bottom of that, I have the gift, because to me, anything, you know, this is the start of my journey, so it's obviously a gift of poetry. But as if you know poetry, that was not fantastic. It was not terrible. It was not terrible for a 6th grader, but it was not fantastic. So this is the version I wrote in 2025 of this. I was basically inspired by this gift, and I rewrapped the gift. I made the gift a little bit cuter, a little bit more poetic, a little bit more mature. So let's get into it. He Gives Love, rewrapped August 11th, 2025. Unconquerable love. That's exactly what it was. If I'm not mistaken, the love of his life was taken, far beyond his reach, and he never did retreat. He failed to back down. He dedicated his every waking moment to quieting the insufferable sound of separation that rattled his bones dry. He traveled up and down great hills, slithered through roaring canyons, risking his life. He grew unbothered in the pale face of chaos. Familiar with the risk that haunted other souls, he chased deals with demons enthralled by seance, to win the only rose he saw in a field of a million daisies. I don't know what else it was, if not unconquerable love. So that's basically all of section 1. I took poems that I did not consider fantastic. Now, like looking back now, I'm like, that's crazy that I even wrote that. But then I was like, wow, I'm so proud of myself. This is so amazing. A 6th grader, yeah, writing her first like poem. I'm so like amazed by that. I loved it so much. So I decided to still show it love in a new way that I found would help others realize that I was not born like nobody that you see who's like doing great amazing things was just born doing those great amazing things. It takes work and it takes effort and it takes learning about what you want to do and practice to become, better at what you're doing. So this is just like a testament also to practice and that it does take a lot of effort to get to where you want to be. So the next section is called Genesis. Growth is imminent, omnipresent. You just have to hear it and catch it. So this section is basically poems that were written kind of between when I was super confident in poetry and when I was just like, okay, I think I'm kind of good at this. I'm gonna see what happens, So Genesis is like another word, or to me it means growth and like change and new things, because that's the first chapter of the Bible is Genesis, and I feel like it definitely symbolizes just like growing and changing and new beginnings. The cool thing about this section is that everything has a little postscript or PS message at the end of the poems, and it's kind of like they're supposed to represent like a whisper from the future me to that current me, and you won't understand this unless you get the book, but I can barely also pronounce this word. Aphazagoraphobia and Staccato. Originally written on November 13th, 2023. I want to live around minuscule things. I want to sing of them, appreciate and praise. I want to wash my hair in the sun's rays. I want to be the wind on hot summer days. I want to be selfless. To be selfless is to give. I want to be minuscule. To be minuscule is big. I want my voice to ring in someone's head. I want to let them know there are luminous things left. I want to be powerfully brave. I want to make music, to have a stage, sing a lifting melody, set them free. Minuscule things are always seen, if not by everyone, then by me. P.S. Please own this bright spirit, share the music, the light, the praise. It's been yours to bend and mold until it becomes an endless ripple of bright love. Okay, so also all the PS sections in this section of Genesis and all the PS sections of Genesis, they're all a poem. A 4-line poem where the first 2 lines don't rhyme and the last 2 lines rhyme. I've tried to make it my own poetry form. If you know Shakespeare and his poetry work, he has sonnets, there's the haiku, there's all types of different poetry forms, and these PS postscript poems are all in the same exact format, just obviously different words. So it's just like that, but just like Shakespeare stuff, but a little bit different and a little bit shorter, and done by me. So the PS is like a postscript would be. It's written after the poem was written, and it's relating to what was said in the poem and what advice I wish myself then would have known, which is why it's a postscript, and I'm kind of writing to that version of myself and being like, you know these things, you should know these things. Kind of like a hint, a whisper, a secret. And the third and last section is this what future feels like? The past, present, and future wind through whispers into one. So throughout this section, we have different forms of the future, which I don't really know, coming and telling my present self what might be happening, what could happen, possibilities, you know, or also advice. But this time, the future is closer to the present. So those whispers are intertwined throughout the poems. I use italics to kind of define the separate people or parts of myself. So the future self is always going to be italicized. So when you get the book, you'll see that. Butterfly by Butterfly. This warmly lit morning, a swarm of butterflies landed at my doorstep. They fluttered, implying they were looking for you, relaying that you've caught a feeling, the feeling you say of loving me as much as the sky, space, and the seas love blue. Cherished, but often forgotten your enamor, I didn't expect. Hear my heart's hesitance. Little by little, I let the crack in the door grow larger. Butterfly by butterfly, each wander into my home, into my heart. That feeling webs its way within. Because of you, I know there are luminous hues left. Butterflies often whisper the words we've left unsaid. Cherished, but never forgotten. Your enamor, I admire best. You can also see more of these poems on my TikTok. As I said, I'll be in the description below, and the link to buy my Amazon book will be in the comments. And so glad you watched this video. Also, last thing I want to say, I'm so thankful to God for this gift and this opportunity that I'll be able to like write. It's so fun. I love it, and I hope that this inspires someone to, you know, either write poetry, write a book, or just, you know, explore what there is to explore. You know, go chase after your dreams. And as always, think big and go bigger. Thanks for watching.